All right, Rivet crew, happy Monday. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We are starting out our week of training with a 20-minute AMRAP. As you can see, we have 5 different stations. We're going to do 20 reps of each movement at each station. We're hoping for 3 to 4 rounds or so in our AMRAP today. We have some more challenging movements. We have some less challenging movements. Ideally, as we go into today's workout, we have in mind that we want to move at a strong but consistent pace across the 20 minutes, right? Hopefully we're not having to stop and take long pauses all the time. We're actually moving at a pace where we can keep moving forward. We're also looking for a smart breakup plan, right? Some of these movements are more challenging than others, like I said, and it's a good idea to have kind of a breakup plan going in. Like some of these things you might be able to, I can do 20 of those in a row, not a problem. Some of them like, oh, I'm going to have to break that up. And it's good to have sort of a plan, a flexible plan, if you will, going into, right? I mentioned those 20s into a 10 and a 10 or 5s or whatever, depending on the movement. Some of the movements you're going to find a little bit easier. You can kind of get through that station at a nice consistent pace, like I mentioned earlier. Some of them a little more challenging. Have a breakup plan, right? 3 at a time, 5 at a time, whatever it is. So our stations today, we have wall balls, we have hang power snatch, we have box jumps, we have overhead squats, and we have calories on the rower. Wall balls, right? We can all do those, no problem there. Full squat, hit your target at the top. Choose a weight that you can probably see yourself going mostly unbroken on that movement. I'd like to see most people get sets 20 with the wall balls, although maybe one break would be okay, a 12 and an 8 or something like that. But choose a weight that you can see yourself going unbroken for, maybe a round or 2. Hang power snatch, if you're not familiar, dumbbell or barbell. So hang is anywhere above the knee, right? So if we're going barbell today, going anywhere above the knee. If we're looking at that big jump and bring it up overhead, right? Hang power snatch. Big explosive movement. That's probably going to be a more challenging movement for some of us. That one is definitely one that will probably be breaking up a little bit more. It's supposed to be a lighter weight, but because it's such a big full body movement, it will get that heart rate up a little bit. So breaking that up into sets of 5 maybe, or even 2 10s, something like that. For our dumbbell athletes, similar movement. Dumbbell's going to come from right about knee level. Big jump, bring it up overhead. Box jumps today, moving at a nice steady pace. This is staying on one side of the box, land and stand. That one's a good kind of steady pace station. Overhead lunges, again, more challenging. Again, we're going back to the barbell. We're doing 20 of our overhead lunges, right? If you struggle with this movement, go even extra light. We can also go overhead lunges if we need to. For our dumbbell athletes here, it will be overhead lunges. We'll do 10 lunges with a dumbbell in the right hand. We'll do 10 lunges with a dumbbell in the left hand. Then the last station is calories on the rower, right? We can all do that one. Again, that's a nice steady pace station, just like the box jumps, right? Just kind of get it done before moving on and going back to the wall balls again. So again, 3 to 4 rounds. I like to talk about the feet quite a bit, as my people in my classes know. Today is a really good day to focus on what your feet are doing. Pay attention to your feet today in the warm-up, and hopefully that'll carry over to the workout. So, weight distribution in the feet is very, very important. Us coaches are always yelling, heels down, keep your heels down. And it's not just the heels. What we actually ideally, in a perfect world, want is an equal distribution of weight between the front part of the foot and the back part of the foot, right? Almost like it's kind of centered in the middle. So we have the heels down, we have the balls of the feet down. We're actually pressing the toes into the floor. This is good equal distribution of weight. This is a good athletic place to be with your feet. It has so much importance to balance, to power production, strength, everything, how you move. If your feet aren't in a good position, it literally affects everything going on above the feet, which is everything, right? So let's go through the movements. So wall balls, very easy. Squat, right? Heels lift up off the ground. We don't want that. We want to keep those heels down. We want to keep those toes down. Also, a common thing to see here is the ankles collapsing. Some of you've heard us say, hey, press those knees out a little bit. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes this is caused by the arches of the feet collapsing. So we actually want to, part of pressing the knees out actually is activating the feet, right? We're pressing those toes down, we're pressing the balls of the feet down, like I've already said, heels down, and we should have a nice active arch. This stops the arches from collapsing when we do any kind of a squat movement. So press those knees out, keep those arches active. The hang power snatch, right? That bar, the dumbbells, whatever it is in front of you. It's easy to let that weight pull you forward again so your heels are up. This affects balance, this affects power production. So always, right? We're here, I've got my heels down, I'm sticking the butt back. It actually is very helpful to use your center of mass to balance out your weight, right? So I have my shoulders forward, I have my hips back. This keeps the weight balanced over the middle of the foot. So I have a much better chance of getting a good lift that way. Box jumps, when we jump, right? Common thing here, send the hips back, the heels lift off, and you're jumping off your toes. I mean, you're getting your whole body weight up on top of the box. You want to use your whole foot, you want to use your whole leg. So when you jump, right, heels down, whole foot down, toes down, heels down, all that stuff. So that when we jump up, we get a lot more power. And then landing on top of the box, I don't have a box here, pretend I have a box, should look exactly the same way, right? Hips are back and down, feet are flat, we jump up and exact same position. Don't land on those toes, land that full foot, nice soft landing on top of the box. So jumping position, landing position, exactly the same. What else we got? Overhead squats. A lot of stuff happens there. Big challenge for a lot of people is keeping that weight, that barbell centered over the middle of the foot, right? We kind of have the wrist stacked over the elbow, over the shoulder, which should ideally stay right over the middle of the foot. This one is about balance. And some of this obviously has to do with upper body mobility, but also has to do with what the feet are doing for balance, right? We've got to keep those heels down. We've got to keep that weight evenly distributed, right? You see a pattern here, right? See what I'm going for. So again, heels down, toes down, full foot down on the floor, and then rowing. I've said this a ton of times before. We got to keep those heels down when we row, right? From the catch, we should have a full foot contact as we shove back, right? We don't want to have the heels up, pushing through the toes, just like the other moves we're talking about. Whole foot down, heels down, toes down, paws and feet down. Makes for more power, better balance, better workout, more efficiency. Hey, do it, try it. You'll love me. You'll love me. You won't love me. You'll love it, right? It'll really carry over well to today's workout. Pay attention to those feet. Come in, get it done. It's Monday. Never miss a Monday. Very important rule here at the gym. All right. See you guys.